Okay, welcome back to the Psychology of Golf. Dr. Mark P. Otten back with you from Cal State Northridge, or rather today from Sandpiper Golf Course, just north of Santa Barbara, California. This is going to be a little bit different kind of video for you in that I'm not going to show you every single shot that I hit on this particular day, because some of them were terrible. No, that's not why. Well, some of them were terrible, but that's not why. The reason that I'm not showing you every single shot is because we did not film every single shot. This is going to be more of like a highlight show of one of the most spectacular golf courses I've ever played. This course sits along the coastline, just up the coast from the city of Santa Barbara, and you see Santa Barbara, kind of an isolated location right along the water. And Sandpiper draws comparisons to other ocean courses in California. Torrey Pines, for example, down in San Diego, Pebble Beach, of course. For the most part, I'm just going to let you draw your own conclusions based on what this looks like, as far as where Sandpiper fits with the others. Torrey Pines is always in such good condition and is of approximately the same cost as Sandpiper. Sandpiper right now, 2024, if you play on a weekday and you play twilight after 2 p.m. and you walk the course, it's $90, less than $100. That's a steal, and also around that time, typically it's not very crowded. So those are the advantages of Sandpiper there. And then Pebble Beach, Pebble Beach is, it should probably never be compared to anything else. But it is more expensive than Sandpiper is, for sure. So if you're looking for views that are comparable, especially along the back nine of Sandpiper, ocean views that are comparable to Pebble Beach, I'm not saying they're better, not saying they're worse. Check it out, man, for a better deal. You could play Sandpiper about 6 times maybe 7 times for the cost of one round at Pebble Beach. So I'm invoking here the word that sometimes I give you like research studies or some more deep thoughts on the psychology of golf. Here I'm just saying to myself, just have fun, man. I've played this course before. This is not my first time playing the course. And so I just know that once I get to the back nine, especially, there's going to be a lot of scenery, and I'm going to have some thrills hitting the golf ball. And if I get too caught up in results or forget to have fun, then that defeats the purpose, I think, when I'm at this particular golf course especially. So one of my sports heroes is Willie Mays. This is a real quote from one of his books. He liked to keep it simple and just enjoyed baseball. And so sometimes I have to remind myself of that. And sometimes athletes do. In fact, often should probably more often remind themselves just to have fun. It's a game. It's not life or death. It's a golf ball in this case that's either going to fly into the ocean or it's going to fly onto the green. So that's what I was trying to tell myself, and that's all I was trying to do initially. Okay, so I'll show you the scorecard. I'm going to give you my fear and fun ratings as I typically do on the Psychology of Golf, but like I said, I'm not going to show you every single shot. The front nine is, well, it's a little bit less fun and a little bit less scary than the back nine, because the back nine, as you're going to see, just goes right along the ocean. There's one hole that goes right along the bluffs here on the front nine, and that's hole 6, and that actually, I gave that the fear rating 6, which is the most scary hole on the on the front nine. Mostly because if you hit it to the left, you're hitting it into the ocean. That's the only hole in the front nine that's like that. And the others are relatively flat, going up and down the terrain next to the ocean. This is a plot of land that is right alongside. So not every hole could be along the ocean. So okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you the second shot that I hit on the par 5 first hole Why am I showing you this shot? Well, it was a good shot. And it's going to clear the bunker and roll up next to the green. So I have a short chip for eagle. This is for eagle on the first hole of the day for me. And let's just watch this one. Yes, an eagle on the first hole of the day. A dream start for me at Sandpiper or at any course. But let's light the beam. Should we light it twice because it's 2 under par? Oh man, I was so excited and just thinking about, wow, I'm already under par. And I mean, look at that, -2. This is me putting on the second hole for par. -2 going into the second hole. I don't think I'd ever done that before. And so the psychology here is to try not to let it go to your head and believe that you're really that good enough to sustain a score under par, or at least around par. Well, made bogey on number 2. And then on hole number 3, I missed the green with my approach shot. You see some marine layer burning off, literally off of the green there, just like steam coming off of the green as the sun tries to come out here in the afternoon. So I did not chip in for eagle on hole 3. Or hole 2 for that matter. This putt is for par to stay at 1 under. But it not only rolls past the hole, it rolls down one of these slick, real fast Sandpiper greens that I did not see that slope coming, so it rolled about 10 feet past. And it's a 3-putt, double bogey, back over par for me. My time under par on this course was short-lived, and now I'm a little rattled. I'm like, man, I just made eagle, bogey, double bogey to start. So I was a little confused. I didn't know what to make of this round so far. I was so excited, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm still only 1 over par through 3. Which ordinarily would be very good for me. But that was actually my 3rd shot on a par 3 right there. And this is for bogey. I chunked my tee shot and then I 3-putted. That's another double bogey. Now I'm completely rattled, trying to regain my composure for hole 5. Hole 5, fun rating 5. This one goes up the hill, and when you get to the green, you're going to have an ocean view. It's also a dog leg to the left. This hole is cool. And this is a birdie putt. And the birdie putt is going to go in. So now let's light the beam again. So confused right now, but I'm lighting the beam anyway because it's a birdie. So now I'm back to 2 over par through 5, but I have an eagle, a birdie, 2 double bogeys. I'm all over the place. This is hole 6 with the ocean view along the left. The marine layer is obscuring it slightly here. Par 3, fear rating 6, as I mentioned earlier. If the ocean wasn't there on this hole, it would be a rather ordinary par 3, I feel. In fact, the ocean isn't real close by on the left side, but it's there. So it starts to get in your head. Not as much as it will on the back nine. But I'm playing this putt way off to the right. And as you're going to see, some of these greens are really, they move fast and they're tricky. At least they were for me on this day. Not everyone is going to 3-putt on these holes. But in fact, I had a number of 3-putts on this day. Now, I'm still without a par, but I've got a birdie and an eagle and some other stuff over par. Oh man, confusing indeed. Hole 7 is a fun hole, although I only gave it fun rating 10. It's a short par 4 with a dogleg to the left. And that was a green in regulation and a missed birdie putt. So will I make par? It'll be the first one of the day. The sun has come out, as you might notice. Yeah, I mean, fun rating. This is a very fun golf hole, but there's just a lot of those on this course, so it only gets number 10 in on my list. You kind of have some choices off the tee. Do you cut off the dog leg to the left, or do you go straight? Okay, this is the 8th hole. This is not YouTube technical difficulties. This is golf technical difficulties. On the 8th hole, I did something that I hadn't done in months, and that was I shanked 2 iron shots in a row off to the right, off of the hosel of the club. I have done this before in my life, but I hadn't done it for a while. Anyway, I had a nice drive, but my approach shot was shanked, luckily not out of bounds. And then my recovery shot after that, I did the same thing. So it could have been worse because I was still in play, but it was a triple bogey. So I have now added a triple bogey to my scorecard for the for the front 9. A front 9 of just a lot of standard deviation for me. Okay, hole 9. I missed the green, but then I chipped up and almost came within about 4 inches of chipping in, which would have been a birdie chip. And I'm going to settle for par here on hole 9. And look at this scorecard. So it ended up +6 for me, which is actually fairly average. Like as a whatever, my handicap I think is 8 right now. That's actually pretty average for me, like a 42 on a par 36. But I think this is the first time in my entire life, I haven't kept track, but I feel like it's probably the first time in my entire life that I've had at least one of each of eagle, birdie, par, bogey, double bogey, triple bogey. Is that like hitting for the cycle in baseball? I don't think so, because the triple bogey's in there. So first of all, I'm trying to recover from having shanked a couple of shots. Second of all, I'm a little bit confused as to how to feel. Of course, I'm excited to be at Sandpiper still, and excited to be entering the back 9. But I'm a little rattled. And then I ran across this quote after the round from Nelly Korda, who is the current #1 women's golfer in the world, and won a whole bunch of tournaments earlier this year. Went on a record-setting streak of tournaments won. I can't remember how many it was, but it was amazing. And then she fell off suddenly and shot a couple of poor rounds, which for her were poor. And people were like, what happened? And Nelly was like, well, I think I've gone through every emotion possible, and it's just July. This is right now for me as well in this round of golf. You know, I love this game. I love the bad. I love the good. The bad makes you appreciate the good, and that's just how it is. It's sports. If you care so deeply about it, you're just going to go through the roller coaster. So that was, when I read that, I was like, that was me on the front 9. From a sports psychology perspective, I wanted to focus in on when she says, I love the bad. Because I made that triple bogey on the 8th hole, and that was really bad, and it rattled me. I had a couple other 3-putts on that round. But if she says I love that's easy to say, I love the bad, I love the good. But to really believe it, I think means you're in an advanced place in your psychology where you can think through the challenge, or appreciate the challenge, or love the challenge, and treat it as such, as opposed to something where you hate it or you want to quit. or you don't want to work on it, you know? Like, she's obviously a hard worker. And then also when she says the bad makes you appreciate the good, that also resonates with me because, you know, when I make a birdie, when I have a good hole, it means so much more because I've struggled. Golf is not easy, right? Anyone who's played knows that. So, yeah. So loving the bad, I think if you don't love the bad, or at least treat it as something that will make you better, or something that is part of the process of playing a sport and appreciating it. If you're not there yet, that's something to think about as far as like, maybe I should set some goals on how to act, how to be, how to interpret holes where I just stink. So anyway, on to the back nine. This back nine, this set of 9 holes may be my favorite 9 holes in the world. Maybe. It's in contention anyway. And so we have a lot to look forward to, especially holes 10, 11, 13. 13 is fear rating 1, the scariest hole in the golf course, and also fun rating 1, the most fun hole in the golf course. I was ready to give that title to hole 10 before I set foot on the course on this particular day, and then I remembered not only hole 13 is incredible, but hole 11 is also incredible, and hole 12 isn't so bad either. So, man, just a lot of thrills here upcoming on the back nine. For me, having come off of a very confusing 9 holes in terms of score, I don't know. I was just trying to appreciate the moment a little bit and not let the score taint my experience or affect my experience too much in either direction. Let me get me too excited or get me too down. I was trying to do that. But of course, you step up to these tee boxes and you want to hit good shots. So I'm going to show you every shot here from the next 3 or 4 holes because these holes are amazing. This one, hole 10, dog leg to the left, downhill. Not a lot of forgiveness on the left side, certainly. There's a big drop off there. There's bunkers right and left. You kind of have to thread the needle in order to get into the fairway, and I managed to do it here successfully. And I have a pitching wedge here down the hill. The ocean, so you're on a ledge here, and the ocean you can see is in the back. The sun has come out conveniently for us on the back nine, so I could show you these views. Fantastic stuff. Yeah. This putt is was like a miniature golf putt. There's a huge ridge in between me and the hole, and I went part way up the ridge, and then it came back down. I was like, no, stop.
No. Oh.
I thought I hit it with enough to get it up and over, but apparently not. Yeah. Yeah, and then from the 10th green here, you can actually see the 11th tee, and you see the 11th hole looming in the distance. This one I thought I had it. Go in for par. Oh. I celebrated prematurely, and it curled around the cup and did not go in. Oh well. All right, so you see the 10th green off to the left there. The 11th green is down the hill here, par 3, usually into the wind, although there wasn't a lot of wind on this day. And the beach is right behind. This is amazing because the hole is at the level of the beach. Most of the Sandpiper Golf Course is on the bluffs above the sea level. But the 11th green is not. It's down there. So it's an exciting tee shot. Of course, I did not hit that one well. I caught some of the ground. Luckily, it bounced off of the hill to the left and rolled down onto the cart path, or the edge of the cart path. So I had a decent look at a chip here. But now I'm down at ocean level. You can see the waves back there if you look closely. The sand is right behind the green. Oh man, so cool. I mean, if you just like scenery that involves the ocean, you can't go wrong with Sandpiper. Unless you play the front 9 and you skip the back 9. Yeah, don't do that. If you only have time for 9 holes, try to convince the guy in the shop to let you play the back 9 instead of the front. I don't know if they'll let you do it though. So fear rating 2 here, because if you miss the green, you don't have a lot of room. And like I said, sometimes you're battling the wind. Fun rating 2, just because of the unparalleled scenery on hole 11. Yeah. Just amazing. You can't really see hole 11 if you're just up at the shop either, or at the clubhouse, because it's kind of hiding behind hole 10 and the hill there. So to see this particular location, you either have to be on the golf course or you have to be walking along the beach looking back up at the golf course. Okay, I saved bogey there. That was actually a good putt to save bogey. Hole 12, you're just turned around looking the other way from the 11th green. So you don't see, but behind you right here is you're just right on the beach. It's almost like you're hitting a golf ball from the beach. So fun rating 4 for that reason, I think, for me. Fear rating 8. This is not a long hole, 319 yards. I just hit the ball, it clipped a tree branch. But I was able to chip up close to the green from underneath that tree. I guess it's a blind approach shot too, because you're going back up the hill. So that's another challenge here, but handicap 18. If you hit a good drive and stay left, like I didn't do here, you'll be all right. And if you're not distracted by the ocean view as you're teeing off. So I've got a putt for par, and well, this green has some hidden slope to it, as you'll see. As I missed this putt, I should say it was also really amazing that it cleared up. I mean, look at that sunshine. Cleared up at the right time for our YouTube session here. I put in a request with Mother Nature, you know, and it was granted. All right, well, don't watch this. Just fast forward to the next hole. A double bogey, a little bit disappointing. All right, heading into hole 13, fear rating 1, fun rating 1. What's going on here? Well, you see the ocean off to the right, and the bluffs of you actually, like, it comes in a little bit, those bushes there that lead to the ocean, you have to clear that with your tee shot. Although really, to clear that, you only have to hit it about 100 yards, I think. That's not the scariest part of this hole, certainly. And I hit my tee shot here safely over and along the left side. Got a little bit lucky to avoid the rough, the tall grass on the left here, as you'll see. This is a second shot. I've got about 300 yards in, and the bluff, there's another huge separation between the fairway and the green that you're going to have to clear. You got to basically hit it over the Pacific Ocean. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's very much Pebble Beach-like, this hole. I didn't want to make that comparison, but it really is. So I'm not trying to do that with the second shot here. I'm trying to hit a 8-iron about 150 yards and set myself up for this is going to be a nervous third shot. I've pulled out my 5-iron. Look at this. This is like, you got to clear this stuff. The green is on the bluff. It's like a finger out into sticking out into the ocean almost. And I don't think I've ever hit this green. I think I played this course 5 or 6 times. But here goes. I'm saying to myself, don't be scared. Just aim for the flag. And I did, and it started out well, but then it faded, and the ocean breeze did not bring it back. And I hit off of land, and then it bounced to the right into the bushes, and maybe eventually the Pacific Ocean. Oh well. So this is my chip. I dropped here because I did hit the land, so I gave myself a drop on the other side of the bluff there, and I chipped up from that drop for par, and then I managed to save bogey. So that was a moral victory, given that I hit the ball off the bluff. Wow, what a hole. Oh, okay. Hole 14 is a par 4. The ocean is still there along the right side, so fear rating 5, because if you do hit it too far right, you are swimming again, or at least on the beach. Now this one I hit pretty far to the right off the tee, but it rolled down. There's a slope that pushes it right to left, and then I hit a good approach shot here with the 5 wood. Some length to this hole, 425 yards, but some room as well. And I two-putted, you'll just have to believe me, that I two-putted for par here. My first par of the back 9. Took me a minute. This is just a still picture of this is all we had for this green. Looking back down the fairway toward the tee box with the ocean view back there. And you're also going to see some smoke coming through from a wildfire that was fairly far away, not threatening the area. But that adds to the to the sky here over the last few holes. All right, so hole number 15, we're going back inland. The thrills of playing alongside the ocean on holes 10 through 14, that is now behind us, literally. And I mean, it's just amazing. It makes you want to I was like, should I go back and just play 10 through 14 again? Can I sneak over there? No, probably not. Anyway, hole 15 is an interesting hole, actually. It's just going back toward the land. Par 5 with a dog leg to the right. I did miss the green with my third shot there. And I picked up some playing partners here for the last 4 holes or so. Yeah, it's almost like a letdown no matter what the score is, in a sense, when you play hole 15, because you're like, man, do I really have to leave the ocean behind? It's still there, though. Hole 16, I did miss the green with my approach, but I hit a good chip here, and I hit an even better putt, I think. Yeah. Save par on hole number 16. Hole 17 is also a very interesting hole. You want to stay left if you can, because the fairway slopes left to right, as I recall. And it's a little bit dangerous because you might lose your ball on the right side. Of course, here I'm missing a par putt and having to settle for bogey. Another 3 putt. Come on, Dr. Otten. When are you going to make a better putt? Well, we've got one hole left. This hole, there's an 18th hole. There's fear rating 3, a huge water hazard in front of the green that can really get in your head. This is not the ocean. This is just a lake. But I hit a clean 6-iron here. The 6-iron is redeeming itself for its terrible performance on hole 11. And I've got a birdie putt, albeit a long one, with the sun setting and the ocean back there. Look at this view. And watch this putt. Downhill, going, in. A birdie to finish the day. My goodness. My score was not amazing, but like the beam. My overall score was not amazing, but light the beam anyway. I mean, it was Sandpiper. I started the round with an eagle and finished with a birdie, and then there were a bunch of shots in between. But I hope this video helps you understand a little bit more about this golf course. For me, like I said, trying to have fun, trying to appreciate the moment, trying to have gratitude for my health and ability to just be at a place like that and hit the golf ball halfway decent is enough for me on a day like that. So a lot of times as sports psychologists, we help athletes with their performance. On a day like this, I would say it's not about performance as much as just appreciation of being out there and seeing some of the scenery. Now, if you're not into scenery, if you'd rather play a golf course that is not by the ocean, don't worry about coming to Sandpiper. But But yeah, it's worth the drive for most folks, most golfers, I would say. So get up there, go down there, visit, have a good time, and remember what Willie Mays says. Just have fun, man.